Welcome to Hide and Seek TV. It's your boy Hide and Seek, and I'm about to get ready to do a very deep breakdown concerning the One Direction member, Payne, suicide that happened. So I'm going to delve into all of this and like the symbolic stuff that's going on right in our face. And I'm going to explain all of this right quick. So first off, with the One Direction, remember they had Louis Tomlinson in the group. So you got Lim. Remember, as I explained in Exodus 3:14, how the Father says that He's the I am that I am. So hence the William, the will of God, the will, the will within the will, the revealing. So it all goes to that William, the William, So it all goes to the will of the I am that I am, the will of God. So basically, you had the I am, the William, the Lim, side by side with the Louis. And when you understand Louis, when you translate praise the Lord, it becomes Louis eternal. So hallelujah, Holly means to praise, Louis eternal Yah. So you see how you had to have Louis in the same group with Lim. So it's important to understand this because it's the Lim Payne. So you understand the time that the Freemasons are in. It's the time of the pain because as it's written, the Messiah, I am the vine, ye are the branches, he that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit, for without me ye can do nothing. So you see, he is the vine, we are the branches. So that pain just goes into the whole theme of the wicked being cut off, the seed of the wicked being cut off, because right now it's the time of the sword, dividing the good from the evil. The wheat and the tares, the wheat represents the righteous, the tares represents the wicked, that's being cut off. So the seed of the wicked shall be cut off, as is written in Psalms 37:28. So, it's that Lim, that Payne. So that's just showing how they are the false. The Masons, what they do is, they blaspheme the holy name. They work in iniquity. So that whole time now, they just let, their kingdom being cut off. So they're in the time now of give me liberty or give me death. So, they're casting themselves down. Whether they're being, whether the people are being sacrificed, etc., but all of it's still going to that whole theme of how they report the stories because it's letting you know that it's a time of the give me liberty or give me death. They already know they're getting closer to the time that every knee must bow, every tongue must confess the Lord, so they just casting themselves down, So that's how it all works. That's why the day before that, you had the dog on top of the pyramid. So let's delve into that. As it's written, in that day there should be an altar to the Lord in the midst of the land of Egypt, and a pillar at the border thereof to the Lord, and it should be for a sign and for a witness unto the Lord of hosts, which are a shadow of things to come, but the body is of Christ. So you see that whole thing, the altars testify about the Messiah's return, and so forth, as I've been covering in the videos. So you see how the dog had to stand on top of the pyramid because that's just showing that the time's getting closer, where the Messiah and his 144,000 saints will stand on top of the altars. So the dog just goes into, reverse dog backwards is God. And then, as it's written, the Lord is my shepherd. So it all goes into the protector, the dog symbology. So you see the whole thing with the dog standing on top of the pyramid. They already know that time is drawing closer. That's why you see one of his photos. He already knew he was going to be the sacrifice. You see he got the hangman stance, the sacrificial stance. You see, then he got the red, white, and black shirt on, the blood sacrifice for the masonry, the blood upon the checkerboard floor. You see he's standing by the stove too, because the stove just symbolic for that hellfire. And then you see right there how he holding that cup, that coffee cup, because that coffee cup, coffee come out of brew, so it's like the Hebrew. They already know the time of the Hebrews, are being revealed. The true Hebrews being revealed. The Ashkenazi synagogue of Satan in Revelation 3:9. The false Jewish are being exposed, and that the true Judahites, the so-called blacks, are being revealed. So all of this stuff is all coming into fruition. So you see, that's why, remember I was explaining how Obama is the Antichrist. That's why on the show Baki, look at what happens.
A nuclear bomb. Maybe you could do it with your bare hands?
You too,
You're no different than President Bosch.
He cut that glass tabletop in half, just as if he were using a diamond.
So that glass, I'm going to get into this right quick. That glass, and the reason why they had to say he, fell out his hotel window, up the third floor. Because when you understand that, for now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face, now I know in part, but then shall it also be made known. So seeing through the glass darkly, the man in the mirror, the Messiah, being revealed. And that third floor, because they know it's the time, the first, second coming, and they already know it's the time of that third final conflict they preparing for. So they know about the first coming when Yahushua was crucified, the second, return, dealing with the whole thing of bringing 1,000-year reign, and then after the 1,000-year reign comes that final conflict, goes into when they're, cast to the hell pit forever, So that whole theme already letting you know about that third floor. They already know they're in the time of that third. They're in the time of preparing for that final conflict. So you see how Obama talking about breaking that glass. And then you see all the coffee spill because they don't want the Hebrews, to be revealed. They don't want the Hebrews to come into power. So you see how serious all of this stuff is. All in our face. It's all right there. That's why you see they had to mention Forrest Gump jumping off the boat, because they already know that boat goes into dealing with the Ark of the Covenant, dealing with the law of God. So that's why he had to say, he's going to be like Forrest Gump, Talking about the scene where Forrest Gump jumped off the boat. All in our face, That's why they also said that, that the body of the singer was on a wooden deck with tables and chairs nearby. So they already know that wooden deck, because they already know that time coming to building the kingdom is fulfilling. And the tables and chairs, because as it's written, it's going to be the marriage supper of the Lamb. So they already know that all goes into the great rejoicing, of the gathering of the world, the gathering of the saints, and everyone coming together, fulfilling the kingdom. So all of this stuff is all right there, how they report this stuff, man. That's why they had to say, like I said, they had to talk about him being inside the elevator. That elevator blasphemy, basically how they're saying that, the whole thing, the whole aspect of everything coming together, of the Messiah being the one who ascends and does sins. So that's why they had to mention the elevator, and then going to being casted down, Remember him and Michael Jackson share the same birthday, August 29th. And you see how Michael Jackson was by the balcony as well, with the window, because the balcony, that just goes into that connection, that connection between heaven and earth, dealing with the higher veil, dealing with the bar, the connection between heaven and earth. That's why you remember Michael Jackson had the baby Paris with the face covered, because France has the connection to Judah. Remember how that's why I was explaining in Deuteronomy 28:68 how the Judahites would be sent through Louisiana on slave boats, sent back into spiritual Egypt through Louisiana. So that's why Michael Jackson had to do that with the covering of the face, because it's seeking my face in heaven and on earth. Then they already know about the time of the Messiah being revealed. They already know about the Messiah being upon the earth. That's why they mocking and blaspheming, and that's why they starting to cast themselves down and things of that nature, because they already know that time coming and his revealing is coming. As it's written, the altars testify who he is. The altars stand 5,776 inches. 5 for the 5th day, the 7th for the 7th month being July, and then the 76 for the 1976 birth year, as I covered millions of times in this video. So it's the July 5th, 1976 birth. That's why in Matthew 24, remember Yahushua, what did he say? He said he'll return when the summer is, when the branch is tender, know that the summer is nigh, letting you know that he will be born in the summer when he returned. It's all in the book. It's all throughout the prophecies, just understanding what's going on. That's why they're attacking how they're attacking. Remember on that movie, what was the movie, that movie Speed with Keanu Reeves, and you had the actor named Payne. Remember, he was in the elevator, and later on in the movie, remember, Keanu Reeves took him out because remember he was on top of the train with him, and he hit his head on the train and died. The Payne actor. Remember, Keanu Reeves on their name was Jack. So Jack is just short for Jacob. Hint the 12 tribes of Jacob of Israel. So when you understand the word Christ is the Greek form of the word karos. Karos, kara. Ka means soul, Ra means light, hence Israel. So karos just means the christening, the anointed one. So that's why they love using cars, because they like to blaspheme how they want to be their own Christ, their own karas. So even on his song back in 2019 called Rude Hours, excuse the language, we said I won't run the lights unless you're close behind. Really want to get there, let's be safe tonight, because we've both been drinking. Key unlocks the door, take it on the floor. You see? The key talk, the blasphemy of the key. Fire has the keys, and then to take it on the floor. So that all goes into their Illuminati pyramid dealing with the floor. They all want to unlock themselves and reach that higher epitome of masonry. And then he goes into the whole theme as well. How he mentions the hotel. You see, he said check in at the Red Hard Rock Hotel. And then you see he said meet me in the parking lot. Yeah, it might be a bad idea. I'll probably do you in the car. So hint the parking lot. They want to keep the car apart. They don't want the saints to be on top of that altar with the Messiah. And then they want to talk about defiling the car, defiling the car. And then checking into the Hard Rock Hotel. So they'll just let you know how they was already plotting this way back then. He already knew how he was going to be gone out of here. They already know they roles, the roles that they play. All in the face of people, harvesting their energy. So let's keep it rolling. So you remember they also said that Lim, remember they said he smashed his laptop in the lobby and had to be carried to his room. So he smashed his laptop in the lobby and had to be carried in his room. Remember T Grizzly was talking about how he started out. Remember he said how he was stealing laptops and everything like that, stealing phones and laptops. Remember that? So remember they say he was stealing phones and laptops. Remember Kanye on the song Real Friends on the life of St. Pablo. Remember he was talking about how his cousin stole his laptop. The laptop just goes to all that dealing with blasphemy of, as it's written in Revelation 1:7. Behold, he come with clouds. I shall see him. So when you understand that, behold, he come with clouds. That's why 1976 you had the Apple and Microsoft form the cloud, because they already know the cloud just goes into the cloud gathering. In Revelation, in Hebrews 12, 1 as it's written, we are the cloud of witnesses. So we are the cloud of witnesses. So when you understand the whole theme of how you spell cloud, very important, because the cloud has CLOU in it. The C-Lewis, the Lewises. So when it's talking about, behold, he come with clouds, that's just talking about the witnesses, those who testify that he's Lewis eternal. The Lewises are with him. Like how you understand the word Christ becomes Christians. For those who follow Christ are Christians. So hence those who follow Lewis eternal are the Lewises. You kind of see what I mean? That's how deep this all goes. Remember Jezebel in the scriptures. Remember Jezebel was cast out the window. Remember that? Fell through the window in the scriptures in 2 Kings 9:30. Remember on the movie Fighting with Channing Tatum. I'm going to show y'all this right quick before I delve further. So that whole thing dealing with the curtain all deals with the veil, the revealing. So it all deals with that curtain, that veil. So look at what happens first. See how they go through the curtain? You see how they go through the curtain first? And then notice how they're in there fighting, and he's trying to break them through the glass, you see? You see, they're all dealing with the glass, trying to break them through the glass. So it all deals with that unveiling. You remember on Kanye on his song Power, remember he says no one man should have all that power. You know, that he's the abomination of Obama's nation. And that's why he said, now this will be a beautiful death. I'm jumping out the window. I'm letting everything go. So letting everything go, this will be a beautiful death. So they rather have that, give me liberty or give me death. You know, they rather deal with casting themselves down versus, you know, serving the Lord. That's why Big Sean on his song Jumping Out the Window, he said, you've been tripping with no destination. You need separation, you need recreation. Then he says, it's no need to turn this into Kill Bill. Look, you see that? Funny, we ran into each other while we leaving. So that Kill Bill, he got to mention the Kill Bill. You know, Bill is short for William, the I am that I am. Not too long after that, what did he say? I think I'm ready to jump out the window. You see that? I'm ready to jump out the window after mentioning Kill Bill. That's why in St. Louis, you know, you got the ark, and they got it where you can look through the window of the arch. You see? Be your own God. Be the Louis Eternal yourself. Look through the eyes of Louis yourself. Be your own God. You see? That's why they got the windows you can look through in the archway through in St. Louis. That's why Megan Thee Stallion, they had to say had that foot with the glass in it, because they already know that matrix is written in, you know, in Exodus 34:19. Those who come out the matrix are mine. So they already know that dome is breaking, that glass, the revealing is happening. So that's why they talking about they all jumping out windows, or, you know, they got glass and all of this, you know. Remember Kurt Angle threw Shane McMahon through the glass. Remember? Because that angle just goes into the triangle, which just goes into the pyramid, the altar. So it's just Lewis. And remember how he was throwing Shane McMahon through the glass. Remember, he had to do it 3 times. Remember, the first time it didn't break, second time it didn't break, and then the third time it broke. You see? All going to that third floor, all going into that whole theme of, you know, that final conflict between good and evil after the 1,000-year reign. Remember Erykah Badu had the song Window Seat? You know? All in our face. You know what I'm saying? Remember on the Lit Wizard of Oz, remember the lion, the cowardly lion, blaspheming the Lion of Judah, jumped through the window? Remember Rosa Parks? Remember her middle name is Louise. Rosa Louise Parks was looking through the window. Remember that? Remember Malcolm X? Remember Malcolm X was looking through the window and the curtain at the same time, looking through the curtain in the window, the veil, and then seeing the man in the mirror, all blaspheming. That's why Lewis Carroll had Alice in Wonderland through the looking glass and what Alice found there. Because they already knew, as it's written, the Messiah was going to be as a man. He was going to be in flesh. The word of God become flesh and dwell with men. And we beheld his glory. So you see that whole theme of looking through the window, looking through the mirror, the glass. You see? It's all in our face. That's why he said looking glass, and his name was Lewis Carroll, making the looking glass. Let's delve even deeper into all of this, man. All right, look at this. Same thing here, you know, Jah, Yah. You know, Jah for Yah. Look. Jah dealing with glass again. See? Breaking of the glass. Remember on Def Jam, remember you had to cast Snoop Dogg down. Remember that? Through the window. And notice it's right by the car. He fall by the car. See? So that one direction is which direction you're going to take. The path that's wide to hell or the narrow path to heaven. Many are called, but few are chosen. You know? But I'm going to end that right here. Thank you for watching Hide and Seek TV. Much more is coming, man. Peace.